everyone. It's your favorite CEO, Miss Flo, and I am here at AwesomeCon. And this is Neon Mike, where the conversation just glows. So, funny story. I was walking by and I ended up interviewing this comic book artist who you probably seen in the previous episode. And I asked these gentlemen for a chair. And in exchange for the chair, I was like, you know what? I should probably interview y'all as well, because it's only fair. It's only fair. Y'all help me out, and I'm curious. Like I see y'all with your little your drawings and some amazing artwork that is behind us. So if y'all could let us know who you guys are and what you do.
We are give a chair, get an interview. That's what we are. No, we're Holloway Ventures, which is a nonprofit organization in Washington D.C. We're based on education, visual arts education for children. We have actually, this is our first con, isn't it? Behind the tables?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so this is our first chance to actually spread out our word and tell everybody what we're about. We got some interesting stories that's coming out too.
Oh, well, that's great. So you could give us your names real quick.
I'm Randall Holloway, RC.
My name's Daryl Johns.
Well,
He's a writer and I'm the illustrator.
all right. So you're a good tag team. Awesome. So you guys, do you have a comic book out right now, or are you still in the process?
Pre-production. Right?
Yeah, the books and stories are in production at the moment because, like you said, our main focus is still education and empowerment through the arts.
We have a current story it's about a kid who can actually see spirits, mostly demonic spirits. Ooh. And his mom's boyfriend actually has a demonic spirit in her. And he can see the spirit that's in her, but his mom doesn't believe that it's actually there. He's 9 years old, so she just thinks that he doesn't like, yeah, you don't like my boyfriend, that's all that's about. And he's trying to explain to her that there's actually a spirit that's inside of this guy, and his mom doesn't see it. He can see the spirits, and he actually has a mentor that comes down and helps him extract the spirit that's in his mom's boyfriend. It's an interesting story.
It does sound interesting. And what I love to hear is we all grew up with sci-fi and watching Supernatural, but we never seen too many people like us, in it. It's we either get killed right away,
Yep.
or or we just the wise black characters I told you so.
Right.
Get out the house. What are you doing? You know what I mean? We're never really the stars of it. So I appreciate you guys for creating that. So going back to what you do working with the youth and education, are you partnered with any schools in DC right now, or are you just
Actually,
kind of doing your own thing?
We're Alexandria City Public Schools. We're a partnership with them. We've actually worked with DC Prep, which is a charter school that's in Washington, D.C. It's one of the second-tier charter schools in Washington. We've been doing this for 2 decades now, so we want to branch out from just doing teaching visual art to actually showing visual art to kids and showing them that they can be represented just as much as everybody else. And we want to give them the content and the experience so that they can actually learn how to do it themselves and put out their own content without having to go to the big boys and do it that way. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are independent. You don't have a major publisher or anything like that.
Nope. We are always open and willing to partner with people. But yes, we're independent driven. Absolutely.
Well, that's good. So what are some of the bonuses of being independent and not working with a major publisher? Because I feel like that's always a debate.
You definitely don't have an overbearing presence over your shoulder trying to dictate and direct the direction you want to take your creation.
Creative control. This is actually, if you can see this painting, you should be able to see it on screen. This painting has one of the monsters that the kid can see within it. And they wouldn't allow you to do something like that. It would be much more controlled. It's much more marketed. But can you actually see the monster that's in there?
I could see it. I saw something, but I didn't think it was a monster. I thought it was pretty.
Check it out, people. Y'all see that?
Yeah, I thought it was it was nice. It wasn't giving demon. It wasn't giving that. I was just oh, that's so nice. It looked like a horse, and I horses. Okay, so it's a bad pony. Okay, that's okay.
Bad unicorn.
Okay,
And this is actually the kid. That's him right there. And he can, like I said, he can see monsters that are surrounding people, but he doesn't know how to extract them. And he has a mentor who comes down to help him, and the mentor can actually encapsulate, imprison, and extract the demons from out of him.
Oh,
So
okay.
they do a partnership thing.
That's really cool. It's because like I grew up watching. When I grew up, I was kind of like older when I watched like Supernatural and things like that. So like this was, if this ever becomes a series, I'm definitely watching it. And once you publish a book, I'm definitely getting me a copy. If
We'll have
y'all,
one waiting.
oh yeah, and then I appreciate the fact that you are so connected with just like having your own and not have anybody dictate or try to corrupt your vision, because I feel like that is that's just a main thing, whether it's a major label or major publication. They think they know everything. They think they go by data and all these sales and statistics, and I'm just like, no, it's just like they're really missing the core audience that y'all are trying to reach, because their numbers is more focused on a different demographic than us. So they're not going to initially get it. So, like, how do you guys keep your independent publication going? Because I think that's the other hesitation for people doing it is, well, they're missing the financial backing. That in. So, like, how do you guys, like, really stay afloat and make sure that your vision comes true?
It's the interesting part is that we get to tell our stories. So our people, they care about our stories, and they're willing to invest their time and their money and their energy into a story that basically represents them. And we come from the inner bowels of Washington D.C., so we can tell stories that a lot of major companies can't really talk about because they've never been in those places. I'm sure there's plenty of people watching this who have friends or even their own situations where they were children and they had a mom's boyfriend who came into their life who was just not good for the entire situation, and they would try to tear the parent about it. But in our culture, we have a different type of dynamic. You're not going to tell me who I want to date or da 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 da. So our stories generally connect to our audience, and that gives us the opportunity to get funding and to basically survive. And luckily, we're not in it for the money. We're in it to make sure that our people get a chance to grow and learn and pass on things to other people as they come up behind them. So
Because also, like when we get together and we start creating, we're never nowhere in the process are we thinking, well, what's the monetary kickback? What's that type of gain? It's like, no, everything that we create is like the first thing that we work on is, do we feel the story? Does it move something in us? Because if it moves something in us, then it'll move something in someone else. That's really what it's about.
we also this is our first con being behind the table, and we've had so many young African American kids who came up to us and we told them our story and just watched their eyes light up and see how a kid that is their age, a story that's basically about them. There aren't very many stories like that. And we're talking 9, 10, early teenage kids. Most of the stories, like the Mouses of the world, they're like 16, 17, 18. But I think personally, when you get stories about kids who are 8, 9, and 10, when they really start to find their independence and who they want to be, if we grasp them then and try to point them in the right direction, when they turn 15 and 16, they won't be on the streets. They'll actually know how to handle themselves and have a direction that they want to go to.
That's such an excellent mission, and I appreciate you guys for doing that, because a lot of people will choose money first over something that's more fulfilling and that's like beneficial to not only them and their spirit, but to the community around them. So I appreciate you guys so much for doing.
We got y'all. We got y'all.
So thank you
Holloway
guys.
Ventures. Check us out at Holloway Ventures. We're on Instagram, Facebook, all over. If you can't find us, just Google Holloway Ventures and the website will come up and everything. We got good things coming, so we're looking for partners, looking for illustrators, writers, a whole community of people.
So you're accepting applications.
We are accepting applications.
Okay, that's great. One of my former students that wants to create his own comic book. He's around here. I'm gonna call him and have him come and meet y'all
There
because
is no price on what she just said. No price.
yeah, because like he's such a sweet child. Like he loves comic books. I actually brought him to AwesomeCon. I brought a lot of students here because one, we're a whole bunch of nerds. That's how we bond, in the classroom. And when I took them here and just to see, because this is just like a whole AwesomeCon. If you've never been, it's such a magical place for kids, for like the nerdy kids, and they don't really. There's not too many of them at school, or not too many people they connect to. But when they came here, just like, because they're the shy kids, you know what I mean? They're the kids that come in my classroom during lunch, you know what I mean? But when they came here, they just lit up. They were talking to everybody, just gushing over the cosplays, and just seeing like other illustrators and content creators that look like them. Like for them to see that, like they were just like now they're making like an annual thing, even without me. They let me know they're coming. It's like, Miss Mary, you coming? Like you gonna be here? And I was like, yes, sweetie, I'm gonna be here. Just let me know where you at. We'll meet up.
That's interesting. Real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but that is another part of it too, because our story is about kids like us who were, we were those kids. We were those nerds in the neighborhood. And demons don't have to, and bullies don't have to, monsters don't have to come from outside of your neighborhood. There are monsters in your neighborhood who look just like you. And this kid can actually see those monsters as well. And he has to not only deal with the fact that his mom has this problem, but there are people in his neighborhood who look like him who treat him differently because he's different than them. Sometimes, the monsters are right next to you and you can't see them, but he can.
And that's such a true statement. I grew up watching crime shows with my mom, and that's like so real. But thank you so much for speaking with me today. Again, this all happened because I just asked for a chair.
We gave her a chair.
That's all it took. That's all it took. But it was for great content and a great conversation, because I give you conversation that glows. See how much you glow from this? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I'm going to let you guys continue spreading the word. I'm definitely calling up my student and have him come and speak with y'all for sure. For sure. All right.
Bye.
Bye.